Blessed day, everyone. So the topics we want to talk about in this video: man shot after allegedly breaking the curfew rules, $4 million reward for the return of 4 missing Clarendon men, and Portland woman dies after contracting the coronavirus. Also, 14-day quarantine after 33 call center staff members tested positive for coronavirus. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the man that got shot for allegedly breaking the curfew rules. So it says, residents cry out for justice after man shot during COVID curfew. For the second time in 2 weeks, controversy surround an incident involving members of the security forces and a citizen in St. James under the curfews introduced to stem the spread of the deadly coronavirus on the island. The latest incident, which occurred on Sunday in the Retrieve district near Cambridge, has left residents crying out for justice. When the Gleaner visited the community on Monday, they contended that the police were heavy-handed as there were no reason to open fire at a group of men who had breached the curfew order and were playing a game of dominoes. The man them did play dominoes in my place about 3:15 p.m. when we saw the police vehicle marked SWAT on the side. I drive down the hill because the youth them know say police them a lock up people and all of them thing there. Everybody get up and start run, and all of a sudden a peer gunshot, the police them start fire. A man who gave his name only as Rasta told the Gleaner. According to the alleged eyewitness, even a 74-year-old man who was watching the domino game had to take evasive action as he fell off his seat as bullet rained. An elderly woman who was watching a movie at home with her great-granddaughter said she heard a barrage of shots firing in her yard, and when she regained her composure and looked outside, she saw the police with the injured man. When me look out at my door, me see them have him, and I ask him why him run, and me hear him a tell them say through the curfew hours pass and him no want them lock him up, so him run, the woman said. The elderly woman said the man appeared to be bleeding from a wound to his neck. He was subsequently taken to the Cornwall Regional Hospital by the police. In addition to demanding justice for the injured man, the residents are also calling for compensation for a damaged vehicle, which they say was parked along the roadway when the police crashed into it as they left the community. The police, however, have given a different version of the events. The cops say that they were on operation in the Retrieve community when they were fired upon by a group of armed men. They said that they returned the fire and a man was hit by a stray bullet. L0CKDOWN+4, Director of Complaints for Indicom Western Regional, said that a team from his office has taken statements from the residents and were collecting statements from the officers and the victim. Just over a week ago, 19-year-old Carmichael Dawkins collapsed and died while he and a friend who found themselves on the street of Montego Bay in breach of the nightly curfew were reportedly being chased by a police team. So yes, people, me don't know still the story here. Something just now add up, you understand? The police them say man fire back on them or man fire upon them and them fire back and straight shot hit a man, while the residents are tell a whole completely different story, you understand? I'm not try to say the police them are lying about something not sound right, people. Think about it. Everybody I just tell a different story from the police them. I don't know still people, but we have to wait until the whole investigation process is complete, and then we will know what is what. But leave in the comments and make me know what you think about these people. And the police them, you know, if you don't have to use a weapon, if you're not being fired on, don't use a weapon. Sometimes we know the people them unruly and them still play domino and them outside and all them things, but you know, me not support una bus shot off of people when I shoot off of one. Me not in support of that, and me not necessarily talk about this occurrence, you know, people. Me talk in general, you see me? Yeah, man, because the man did a bleed from him neck back, even though as the police them claim say man did a shoot off of them, you know, the man could have lose him life. And we're glad to that never happened, you see me? But as me say, people, let me know when you think about this, and I'm going to move right on to the next story. Portland woman becomes 5th person to die from COVID-19 in Jamaica. A 5th person has now died from the complications associated with COVID-19 in Jamaica. The latest victim is a 63-year-old woman who resided in Portland. Jamaica has now recorded 105 cases of COVID-19, having seen a dramatic spike in the numbers with 32 new cases on Tuesday. 31 of the new cases are linked to the Portmore St. Catherine-based L0CKDOWN+ call center. There are now 33 cases of COVID-19 linked to L0CKDOWN+, as 2 employees have tested positive earlier. Of concern for Portmore residents, it is that only 65 tests has been conducted on L0CKDOWN's strong workforce, with a positive rate of approximately 50% so far. Meanwhile, the entire parish of St. Catherine has been placed on lockdown for 7 days as the government raced to contain the outbreak. Jamaica's Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bisasar Mackenzie made the announcement during a digital press conference from Jamaica House on Tuesday. All the persons who would have been in the call center, there's the possibility of an exposure, and so therefore, over the next 7 days, you are to remain at home. In fact, you've gotten a quarantine order that has said you must remain at home for 14 days, Bisasar Mackenzie shared. The CMO also revealed that several homes have been given a quarantine order. She said every employee of the call center will be interviewed by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Up to Tuesday, more than 300 persons have been interviewed. For persons who are symptomatic, we are interviewing their household members as well. So the health department will visit their homes. They will conduct the interviews for the homes as well, said the CMO. She told the workers that it was likely some of them would develop symptoms during this time and they will be contacted by the ministry staff. Of those testing positive, 5 are males and 27 are females. They ranging from age 19 to 70 years. It is not known whether the 70-year-old is an employee of L0CKDOWN or a relative of one of its employees. The company had 2 previous cases that were confirmed between Good Friday and Easter Sunday. According to reports, a significant number of those who have tested positive for the respiratory virus live in Portmore. This is sending jitters among the estimated 200,000 residents of the dormitory community. Mr. Mackenzie is warning the general public to exercise due care in light of the development at L0CKDOWN. The rest of the members of the public who have not been directly affected, meaning they are not an employee of L0CKDOWN and they are not a family member, they are also at risk essentially. What we have is 700 and odd persons that have been exposed, that have been around the parishes of St. Catherine and Kingston and St. Andrew, mostly for the past couple of days. Bisasar Mackenzie pointed out, we do not know the level of exposure and that's why you need to stay at home because you need to minimize further exposure. She stated, the CMO urged persons to monitor themselves while they are at home. The 7-day lockdown that was announced for the parish of St. Catherine by Prime Minister Andrew Holness effective 5 a.m. Wednesday. Holness, who was addressing the same press conference earlier, said the lockdown could be extended to 14 days. Meanwhile, Bisasar Mackenzie said persons should also be monitoring themselves for symptoms while they are at home. She said persons call the various helplines if they develop symptoms. The CMO stressed that the stay-at-home order is to reduce the risk of further exposure because right now in St. Catherine, what we do know is that there are several persons who have been exposed. You don't know those persons, so therefore, when you go to the supermarket or when you go to the corner shop, you have to be careful because you may be coming in close contact with an infected person. Bisasar Mackenzie emphasized that the stay-at-home order at this time are important for showing the spread of the virus. Our measures right now are showing the transmission and preventing any kind of community outbreak. For now, we know that several communities inside of the St. Catherine are affected, the CMO said. Boy, people, what a sin thing. I can't believe it. 33 people test positive in a 1 day. Jano Star, yo, when me hear this, is like, you know, when you're in a disbelief, you see my people, I know say enough I won't probably see it from yesterday and thing, but I definitely feel like say this as something what we have to try to quell as fast as possible. You understand? And now I hope a lot of persons start take this thing serious because I realize a lot of persons are going like them invincible, like say them can't get COVID-19, you see me? But people, it's a very sad news for here. You don't know, say we have to be very careful, we have to be extra careful right now. I'm going to see a video I show people I leave from Portmore I come to Kingston because you know, don't know the lockdown where going on and thing. I'm going to play that video here, people, Zine, and boy, I just hope so them not spread it over Kingston or nothing, but check out that little clip here.
The people that move out of Portmore. No, sir. Watch ya. Look on the traffic. Everybody I left Portmore. Look on the line of traffic. Jano. Watch ya. Look on the traffic. Everybody I move out. Watch ya. Look on the hours and look on the traffic. Jano.
So yes, people, you see what I talk about? everybody are left from Portmore for come at Kingston right now. And these people, me don't know still, I don't want them bring this thing come spread like wildfire at Kingston. You understand? But you know, say everybody are going to panic and all of them things there. Because remember, when we did just hear about one case, you know, everybody run go supermarket, go buy out all types of things. So imagine people hear about 32 cases or 33 cases in a one day. Then when you expect it to happen. And people for this call center, even though here say can't go roads in, but me here say the call centers them, the people them just walk up and down, them not exercise no social distancing. I'm also hear about a other call center. Somebody tell me say them visited the place, the call center when, I think Sunday, and the person I say, yo, the way them just walk up and down in there, you know, me can't believe say them really have them thing they are going. So the government need to look into these call centers and make sure so them follow proper protocol. Wanna see how much workers them have? Jano Star, yo, when me hear them thing, it just piss me off sometime, you know. But leave in the comments and make me know what you think about this here, people. I'm going to move right on to the next story. $4 million reward for a safe return of missing Clarendon men. A US $30,000, approximately $4 million reward is being offered for the safe return of Clarendon businessman Cavan J. Graham and his 3 friends who went missing on April the 7th. Graham, who is 40 years old, who is from Rocky Point, is the owner and operator of Jay's petrol station in his hometown. The other men are 30-year-old taxi operator Omar Bennett, also of Rocky Point, as well as 33-year-old Ricardo Matra, a sound selector operator, and 40-year-old Roy Hamilton, both of Longwood in Race Course. They had left their Clarendon homes to visit the Elshire Beach in Portmore, St. Catherine, but have not been seen or heard from since. The vehicles in which they were traveling in was found abandoned in Riverton, St. Andrew last Wednesday, April the 8th. We do not know if they had reached Elshire Beach or not because we have not been able to get them on their phone since, a relative of Graham said. He described Graham as a hard-working individual who lived to make his children and other loved ones happy. We know somebody knows something, so we are begging them to just tell the police what they know. Cavan is a really quiet, hard-working person. He can really be jovial at times. He works hard and loves girls and likes to party. He is not involved in anything illegal, and neither are any of the men who were in his company. I really don't know why anyone would want to do them any harm if that's the case. So yes, people, $4 million for the safe return of these 4 men. You understand? Boy, it's sad, me not telling a lie, but for years, them find the car abandoned, something just not look right, you understand, people, and look which part them find the car, in a Riverton, which is way far from Elshire. So I have to just watch and see, people, you understand? Hopefully, if anybody have any information, them can talk to the police and just make them know what them know, you see, because the man, them have them family, them have them kids, whole heap of different things are going on in Jamaica right now. And you don't know, say the family have to go think about, you know, them missing relative and all them thing there. But I don't know, people. No, just leave in the comments and make me know what you think about this. And remember, people, stay safe, stay extra safe, take on the necessary precaution, protect on yourself. I'm out.